The movie opens to reveal Ye Fenfen going through her late mother's collection and caressing the tape of a classic song her late mum left behind for her. She decides to travel to Pengu Island in Taiwan where the song is recorded. So much is happening in her life and she needs to let off steam. She goes through the internet searching for suitable accommodation where she will stay during her visit. After perusing through the pictures, she finds one that matches her taste and immediately books it. She also requests a hotel pickup by the lodge she has picked. She packs her essentials and clothing and flies to the hotel in a good mood. She's looking forward to a memorable stay. After her plane descends, she isn't pleased that her pickup driver has yet to come and take her to her lodge. Shortly after, Ye Fenfen spots a young man dressed like the locals walking towards her, holding a welcome sign with her name on it. She feels angry that he made her wait. Just as she starts to express her frustration, his phone rings, and he turns around to have a conversation with the person on the line. This infuriates Ye even more, and she decides to leave the airport and find another taxi to her destination. Wu, the young man, notices her storming off and runs after her, but he accidentally trips and falls to the ground. Ye turns back and looks at him. Passers-by, who don't know what's happening, mistake them for a couple, and seeing Wu on the ground, they think he's about to propose to her. They start cheering and encouraging her to say yes. Feeling embarrassed by the situation, Ye points to her luggage and asks Wu to bring it with him. He picks her up in an old pickup vehicle, and while he drives her to the riverbank where they are to take a boat to the lodge, she asks him where Pengu Cove's destination is. He smiles as he hears her say that. Wu asks her if she is a fan of the song Grandma Pengu Cove too. He says he can easily guess that it is a yes since she chose his lodge. He then goes ahead to explain to her that there's no Pengu Cove on Pengu Island. But that's okay, after all, where there is love, there's Pengu Cove. He then begins to sing the Pengu Cove song. She's irritated by this and asks him to be quiet. They reach a bridge that connects them to the island where the lodge is located. Ye is excited about staying at the lodge called Pengu Cove on Pengu Island. But when they arrive, she is disappointed because the lodge looks old and worn out, nothing like what she saw on the website when she booked it. She stops and asks Wu where the butlers and staff she saw in the pictures are. She has been tricked. She tells Wu to take her back to the boat so she can find a better hotel. If he doesn't, she threatens to sue him for scamming and deceiving her. Wu tries to convince her that the weather is bad and that going back on the boat might be risky. Just as they are talking, Wu's dad and his little daughter Anne come out to welcome him. Ye decides to stay until the weather gets better. Wu shows her to her room upstairs. She realizes that he is in the same apartment with his father and daughter. When she enters her room, she sees that it looks old, and to her surprise, there is no lock on the door. She isn't accustomed to staying in an apartment that isn't well furnished, as that's all she's accustomed to. Ye can't wait to leave the next day. The next day, Ye packs her suitcases and comes downstairs, after having an embarrassing moment where she ran into Wu defecating. Wu and his family are having breakfast, and Wu offers to make her a plate of noodles. She declines and insists that he takes her on the boat to find a better place to stay. While they are on the boat, she notices that Wu is having trouble starting the engine. Ye offers to help him pull the rope to start it, but she makes a mistake and ends up falling into the water. Wu immediately jumps into the water and saves her, but it's too late. She loses all her things like her passport, phone, credit card, and clothes in her suitcases as they fell into the water alongside her. When she's rescued, she realizes she can't contact anyone outside, and she feels frustrated. Ye blames Wu for the whole situation, thinking he planned it all. First, he tricked her with false pictures of his place online. Now she's lost her suitcase in the water, and she can't leave until she gets a new passport. It's too much for her to handle, so she goes back to Wu's house to figure out what to do next. The next day, she goes to the local police to report her lost belongings. Ye is tempted to call her family for help, but she knows they won't react well. She left China and came to Taiwan to escape their nagging about getting married. She's sad because her trip to find peace away from her family has turned into a terrible nightmare. The police advise her to stay out at Wu's house until the matter is sorted. Fu, Wu's younger brother, naively uses their family house as collateral for an investment firm. However, he falls prey to a group of fraudsters who disappear and abscond from their offices after obtaining the house documents. Fu is filled with sadness, and his friend Dong tries to console him. That evening, they go to the house and share their harrowing experience with Wu, who is utterly shocked. Wu can't comprehend why his brother would take such a drastic step without consulting him, especially since the house is their father's only valuable asset. Wu is deeply concerned about how their father will react upon learning this distressing news. Urging his brother and Dong to keep it a secret from their father for now, Wu suggests that they work together to find a solution. Ye returns to Wu's lodge after the near-drowning incident. She feels unwell, running a fever, and the sense of loneliness compels her to isolate herself and stay indoors. Despite Ye's rudeness and her failure to appreciate Wu's courageous act of diving into the water to save her, he continues to be extremely kind to her. He prepares her meals daily and gently sponges her face to help reduce her temperature. He even lets her wear his late mother's old clothes. After spending some time indoors, Ye steps outside and sees Wu emerging from the sea. She asks him if he has come across any of her suitcases, particularly the one containing her music cassettes. Wu chuckles and questions who still uses cassettes in this day and age. Ye attempts to apologize to Wu for how she reacted but finds herself unable to express those words to him. Wu asks Ye about the purpose of her visit to Pengu Island. He wants to know if it's for business or pleasure. She replies that she is here with the intent to visit Pengu Cove and relax. Wu promises to be her guide to show her around the island. He prepares all her food, but he notices that she complains about his cooking and is very particular about what she eats. Knowing fully well that he's a great cook, today he makes her noodles and she complains about the lack of vinegar and wine. He knows it's only a matter of time before she comes around. Ye, being stuck in Pengu Island, is beginning to enjoy the serene environment, unlike her place of origin. As she steps out, she stumbles upon Wu's father dancing with the portrait of his late wife. When he notices her presence, she quickly apologizes for intruding into his privacy. The old man is happy to have her around and apologizes for his son's behavior regarding her missing luggage and the misrepresented apartment. He tells her Wu is stupid but very honest. Then he notices that she's wearing his late wife's dress, which brings back memories of their life together when he was truly happy. While they are in the middle of their conversation, a postman arrives with a letter. Opening it, he realizes it's a letter from his younger son's school. A wave of fury washes over him as he discovers that Fu is not performing well academically, and the failed investment. Summoning Fu into his room, he lashes out at him with a wooden log, berating him for his lack of seriousness and constant daydreaming. Hearing his father's voice, Wu rushes to intervene and stop him from hurting Fu. But his father turns his anger towards him, shouting that he is no different from Fu. He accuses Wu of being lazy, criticizing him for idling around instead of striving to become a marine captain. Fu, consumed by anger, confronts his father about his absence during their mother's illness. He reminds him that he only returned now because he is sick and useless. Trying to defuse the tension, Wu urges Fu to apologize to their father, but Fu stubbornly refuses and storms out. Ye overhears the altercation happening between Wu and his family and decides not to intrude. Later that evening, she sees Wu sitting alone with a bottle of beer. She goes to sit with him, and he tells her he's sure she has overheard the altercation that had happened earlier. She asks him what he would do now as they will soon have to give up the house. He responds that he will come up with a way to make money by doing extra jobs. She suggests going with him as she can't just be a freeloader. She's good at laundry, vending, and any work available. He smiles as he realizes she's genuinely putting effort into helping her family. The next day, she joins him at sea where he does petty jobs, and she helps wherever she can. She realizes she's genuinely happy and having fun. It may not be what she intended, but she's still having fun. After the day job, Ye and Wu sit on a bridge in the sea, enjoying a cup of local tea, admiring the green pastures, nature, and the carefree lifestyle of the people. Ye, who is getting fond of the island, tells him that living in a place like this is interesting. Wu jumps into the water and encourages her to do the same. She replies that she cannot swim. He tells her not to worry and assures her that he will teach her and hold her. She holds Wu's hands and jumps into the water, and he guides her on how to navigate the water. After swimming, he takes her to a spot in the island valley and asks her to make a wish and throw a stone down. He explains that if she is sincere, her wish will come true. Wu takes Ye to the village square where a dance is ongoing. She asks him what is going on here, and he tells her that the group of women performing is singing their village song called Mosquito. This amuses her. Wu continues, saying that their village is known as the Mosquito Village because they have a lot of mosquitoes. He claims that if a man is bitten by mosquitoes here, his balls get bigger, and if it's a lady, her boobs get bigger. Ye smiles, knowing that he's exaggerating. After the musical concert ends, the director of a reality dating show approaches Dong, the organizer of the village musical event. They inform him that they have chosen Pengu Island as the show's location and need local men to pair with the female contestants who are coming from China. Dong is excited by this proposition. Dong reassures the director, considering it a simple task. He calls upon some young men from the village, but the director isn't satisfied with their appearance. However, their attention is captured when they spot Wu, and the director immediately becomes interested in casting him for the show. Approaching Wu, the director introduces himself and highlights the show's status as one of the most popular reality shows in Asia. Still confused by the proposition, Wu is pulled aside by Dong, who tries to convince him. Dong explains the benefits of participating, including fame, increased tourism for their island, and the chance to potentially fall in love with one of the affluent contestants. However, Wu isn't interested in the offer as he is already in love with Ye. Since their first encounter, he has been drawn to her, yet he lacks the courage to confess his feelings. Moreover, the difference in their social statuses poses another hurdle for him. Dong convinces Wu, and he agrees to be a contestant in the show on the way to love. Some days later, they begin the introduction of local contestants, and Wu is among them. Ye is still waiting for a new passport, In the meantime, she is still stuck at Pengu Island, which she is enjoying. Today, she decides to make Shanxi shaved noodles for Wu as an appreciation for his kindness. After eating, Wu compliments her cooking, and she tells him it's her mom's recipe. She remembers always rushing home to her mom's homemade shaved noodles solo. She tells him that as she got busier, she couldn't make it home often, so she learned to cook it. As they speak, Wu's daughter Anne comes up to him with her hairbrush, asking him to brush her hair. Ye volunteers to do it for her. While she brushes her hair, Wu cannot help but think that Anne needs a motherly figure. In this scene, Wu is with the female contestant. He is the ladies' favorite, and they all prefer to hang out with him. One of the ladies gives him a sun protector cream and asks him to apply it on her. As he does it, he looks up and sees Ye approaching. This startles him. He walks up to her and asks what she's doing here. She responds that she came here to give him Anne's journal to sign since he forgot to do that earlier. As he is about to sign, he tells Ye that Anne is an orphan and he adopted her when her parents died. This information breaks her heart. After signing, Wu goes back to join the rest of the team. Wu is currently participating in a reality show and is fully involved in all the games and activities. Ye, who has been feeling lonely since Wu joined the show, decides to go and see what's happening. She arrives at the place where the show is taking place and sees Wu taking part in an activity where male contestants carry female teammates on their backs and compete in a marathon. The fastest couple wins. While Wu is carrying his teammate, he looks up and sees Ye again. He excuses himself, goes over to where she is, and asks why she's there. Ye tells him she just wants to watch and nothing more. His teammate starts calling for his attention, so he asks Ye to go home. A few hours later, Ye is outside the lodge and sees Wu returning. Limping, she asks him what happened to him, and he explains that he was distracted by her presence earlier, which caused him to lose focus in the game and fall, resulting in a sprained ankle. However, despite the injury, he happily presents her with a cell phone. He tells her that he still won the phone and since she hasn't taken any pictures, she can use it. On the day of the finale of the show, each male participant is asked to pick a female to who he is bonded, and if she likes him, they officially become a couple. We open up to Ye earlier, telling her that he doesn't have any emotional connection to any of the ladies. He is scared to make the wrong choice, but Wu isn't entirely truthful. He cannot make up his mind because he is in love with Ye and does not know how to go about telling her about his feelings. He is scared she might shut him out due to their obvious social class disparity. The next day, Wu is asked to choose from the female contestants, but he can't. His heart is with Ye. As the time begins to count down, he is cheered on by the organizers and fellow teammates, but he declines, which means he is out of the game. Luckily for him, the whole crew has rented his lodge for the after party and hosting. Later in the evening, there's a party with music playing. Wu is the host, and everyone is having a great time, laughing and enjoying themselves. Ye is upstairs and feels a bit jealous of the attention Wu is getting from the ladies. She comes out and asks them to keep it down because they're being too loud and disruptive. One of the ladies gets offended and tells Ye to be quiet. Ye goes over to where everyone is sitting to confront the lady, but instead of getting physical, they suggest they settle it with a drinking contest, if Ye is up for it. She agrees, and before long, all the guests are drunk. Surprisingly, Ye is the only one still standing, and she emerges as the winner. Feeling a little tipsy, Ye walks over to the beach feeling sad. Suddenly, she sees Wu approaching her. He asks her why she's feeling down, and she opens up about how her mom was the only person who showed her true kindness, but sadly, she passed away. Ye then explains that her uncle and aunt adopted her, and although they treat her well, they want complete control over her life. They've even arranged a marriage for her without her consent. That's the reason she ran to this place. Wu feels sad when he hears her story. He tells her that no one has ever made plans for him in his life. He always had to be the strong one and take care of his dad, younger brother, Anne, Dong, and himself. He promises to always be kind to her. The next day, he goes diving into the ocean to search for Ye's suitcases. As he looks around, he starts feeling dizzy and lightheaded. Dong calls and tells Ye that Wu has been admitted to the hospital. She hurries to the hospital, afraid that he might be seriously hurt. But she finds out he's okay, he just needs to get rid of excess nitrogen. She's relieved when she finally sees him, but he's inside a tube for the nitrogen treatment. He shows her the box of her belongings that he managed to find. She's overwhelmed with happiness by his thoughtful act of helping her retrieve the box of cassettes, which is the only thing connecting her to her late mom. Throughout the day, Wu and Ye spend increasing amounts of time together. Ye confides in Wu about her parents' desire to visit Pengu Island, which unfortunately never came to fruition. Ye finds herself becoming more and more drawn to Wu's kindness and gentle nature. However, she is unsure of how to interpret these new and unfamiliar feelings. The following day, Ye is at Wu's apartment when she notices his father preparing the table. Curious, she asks Wu if they are expecting guests. Wu explains that it was his parents' anniversary, and when his mother was alive, his father would always come home on this day to have dinner with her. He had made a promise to only dance with her during their special celebration. Ye expresses admiration for Wu's father's dedication and confesses her longing for someone to treat her in a similarly romantic manner. Before Wu can respond, she walks over to the dining room. As they share a meal, Ye compliments the food and admits that she usually eats alone. However, she finds it more enjoyable to dine in the company of others. Observing Wu's father, Wu suggests that he go search for Fu. He notices his father's expression, prompting his father to look up from his meal. His father informs Wu that Fu is in the city and encourages him to bring Fu home, emphasizing that they can overcome any challenges as a family. Upon seeing Ye holding some old cassettes, Wu's dad goes to his room and retrieves an old record player. He tells them that he knew it would be useful someday. He selects one of Ye's cassettes and puts it into the player. As the music starts playing, he extends his hand and asks Ye for a dance, which surprises her. Ye mentions that she heard he made a promise to his late wife never to dance with another woman. Wu's dad smiles and tells her that he made an exception for his future daughter-in-law. This revelation catches Ye off guard, and she excuses herself, heading to her room. Ye is cleaning the house when she suddenly sees her uncle and aunt, which startles her. They had seen her on a reality show and had come to take her back home. They sit her down and express their concern about her running away to the island. They explain that they have been worried about her. They ask her to return home and marry the person they have chosen for her, Jack, as her wedding will help save her aunt's struggling business. They inform her that she is not allowed to make the decision herself because it has already been made on her behalf. Later that evening, Dawn delivers her new passport, which was sent to her by the mailman. She is sitting outside when she sees Wu walking happily. He tells her that he has seen his brother Fu and that he will be returning home soon. Wu notices that Ye looks sad, so he asks her what the problem is. She tells him that she is hungry, which brings a smile to his face. He promises to make dinner for her. The next day, Wu is invited to a hotel. When he arrives, he sees Dong, Ye's uncle, and aunt. He doesn't know why he's been called there. Ye's uncle breaks the silence. He tells him that Ye will be getting married soon and as such would want her to be in China immediately. He is appreciated for taking care of her so far. They offer Wu a lot of money to stay away from Ye and convince her to go back home with them. They explain that they hope the money will be enough for Wu to leave their niece, especially considering his financial difficulties. However, Wu sees this as an insult and refuses the money. His love for Ye cannot be bought. Meanwhile, Ye's guardian sends her a message, saying that Wu has accepted the money they offered him. Ye is furious and feels betrayed. When Wu returns, she confronts him and accuses him of taking a bribe from her family. She tells him that if he needed money, she could have given it to him. Wu feels insulted. They may be poor, but they have integrity. He is mad at Ye for not trusting him, even as a friend. He asks her to leave because he believes she won't be able to survive in a place like Pengu Island. Ye packs her remaining belongings and gets on a boat to go to the mainland and then to the airport. Her heart is broken. She didn't expect her trip to this island to make her life even more complicated. She tried to hide her feelings to not be vulnerable, but deep down, she wants a life with Wu. Unfortunately, their relationship has come to an end. Wu watches as Ye leaves, unable to hold back his tears. Then he sees Dong approaching him. Dong has two important things to tell him. The first is bad news. The bank is taking away their apartment. The second is that Dong has collected the money offered by Ye's guardians, which is enough to pay off the bank. Wu is furious at Dong for taking the money. Dong tells him to forget about Ye, claiming that she never loved him and was just looking for temporary pleasure before getting married. Wu, upon hearing this, becomes angry and hits Dong for insulting Ye. He quickly gets into his boat and rushes to the airport to fight for his love, but he arrives too late. Ye and her prospective spouse have already boarded the plane and are ready to leave. Wu pleads with the flight attendant to give a gift box to Ye, so she can always remember their shared memories. Ye receives a present from the flight attendant. When she opens the wooden box, she sees the stone that she had thrown down the valley while making a wish for true love. Wu was at the valley that day and kept that stone as a symbol of their love. As she looks at the gift, tears fill her eyes. A year later, many things have happened. Wu and his family had to leave Pengu Island because the bank took their property. They moved to the city where Wu opened a restaurant selling local dishes, including Ye's favorite dish, Shaanxi shaved noodles. One day, while watching the news, Wu sees Ye giving a speech at the launch of her book. She talks about refusing to marry Jack and choosing to go about her own life. She tells everyone that the book is based on a true story. Wu can't believe his eyes when he sees his picture on the cover of her book. At that moment, he realizes that they are meant to be together and that true love can overcome anything. The next day, he packs his bags and says goodbye to his loved ones. He is going to China to claim his love and be happy.